Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Open Potato, and here we check out the latest and the greatest strategy games each and every day of the week. It is, of course, summertime, and summertime means but one thing in the world of online games, computer games. That is, of course, the Steam Summer Sale. It is right now up and running from now until July the 11th, and I have got a little selection. A few of the best strategy games in the city building, automation, management sort of style genres that I think you should be checking out, either because they're great games and they're discounted rarely, or indeed they might be at the lowest ever price that we've seen them, and therefore it's an even better time to pick up some great games. Anyway, let's jump into my top 10 recommended Steam pickups, and if there's anything that I've missed, then please do let me know in the comments down below. Let's get cracking. Now, you kinda knew that it was gonna start with this one. Of course, this is Manor Lords. Manor Lords is a medieval strategy city builder. It is absolutely grand and glorious. You build a massive sort of medieval city. There's a whole bunch of sort of combat mechanics as well. It is just a really sort of intricate, well put together and tight city builder. Probably one of the best that we have seen in recent years. Now, this game only launched very, very recently, so the fact that it's even on sale at the moment, I'm a little surprised about, to be honest. It released in April, 26th of April 2024, and only a couple of months after that, we're looking at a pretty decent 25% off, given that this is the first time that it's been on sale. It is at its new historical low of $29.99. So definitely a great game if you want to get in on the ground floor of Manor Lords and play this game throughout what I think is going to be quite a lengthy development time frame. You could do a lot worse than this game in its current state. It is fantastic. It plays really, really well. I've really enjoyed my time with it. Link up in the top right hand corner if indeed you're interested in watching me play it. I can recommend this one heartily. A whole bunch of people are still playing it, and now there's an even greater incentive to pick it up because it's even cheaper, which is fantastic. Anyway, Manor Lords, check it out. As all the other games are, it's linked down in the description below. From a medieval city builder to a very chilly city builder, this is Frostpunk, and Frostpunk is available at $2.99 at 90% off. That is an absolutely incredible amount of value here. I mean, this is one of my favorite games of all time. It really is fantastic. The premise is amazing. It's kind of post-apocalyptic-y, although you wouldn't really know it. The premise is that civilization is over. You're the ruler of the last city on Earth, and you kind of need to survive the frost. I kind of don't want to say any more, because if you've not heard of Frostpunk, then you should pick it up at this price and just play it. If you have played Frostpunk, you know exactly what I am talking about. Frostpunk 2 is coming soon. It's actually, at the time of recording this video, just been delayed. So, in fact, getting Frostpunk 1 at this original price, or this fantastically low price, and just playing through it, playing through the original, is just fantastic. There's even more reason to do so. But yeah, this is the lowest ever price that Frostpunk has ever gone down to. So if ever there was any doubt about picking it up, then now is a great time to do so. And you can practice your brutal sort of decision-making skills in the run-up to Frostpunk 2 as well, which is excellent. Frostpunk is available at $2.99, 90% off. Ah, hello, comrade. You didn't think that I would forget about Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, did you? No, indeed. How could I? Workers and Resources Soviet Republic is a Soviet city builder, but it's so much more than just a city builder. It's an automation game. It's a management game. It is a kingdom builder in a very sort of loose sense. You control every single aspect of a sort of Soviet economy, and the amount of fun that you can have with this is incredible. It doesn't sound like it should be fun, sort of doing all the monotonous little things about concerning running a society such as this one, but let me tell you, it is phenomenal. Production chains are extensive, the people are sad, but that just makes it even more fantastic and even more interesting. You need to make sure that your people are all with you, and you keep them on side, and they don't escape the country or die, because both can happen very, very easily. Look, I'm a huge fan of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. I'm gushing right now, honestly, about it. It is absolutely amazing. I thoroughly recommend that you check it out. It is available at 35% off. It's available for $25.99. Not quite the lowest that we've ever seen it, but it is the lowest percentage off, but it's a percentage off the full price of the launched game, because the game has actually recently just hit 1.0, which is kind of cool. You can also check out the Biomes DLC, which is basically just another couple of map options. It's absolutely not required for the functioning of the game, but you can get the Biomes DLC for 10% off as well, if indeed you are interested in expanding your sort of glorious Soviet borders. Either way, highly recommend this one to anybody who doesn't want to end up in the Gulag. Little bit of a curveball in my recommendation this time. This is City Bus Manager. This is a tycoon management style game where you are in control of a bus company, but the bus company is set in the real world. You can basically play in and across any city in the world, and you create a bus company. You schedule buses, you buy new buses, you upgrade existing buses, you build up an office. This is a tycoon game that's got it all, and if you're interested in sort of transport, logistics, tycoon sort of games, then absolutely give this one a look. It's just hit 1.0, and it really is a very sort of compelling, a very compelling buy. I would recommend this one if you've played, games like Transport Tycoon, OpenTTD. You've kind of had that big sort of macro overview of the sort of transport network, and this time, perhaps with City Bus Manager, you want to get a little bit more granular, a little bit more involved in the sort of running of a specific transport element of that network. It's just buses that you operate here, but my goodness gracious me, you can have a heck of a lot of fun with buses. Hence why I'm recommending City Bus Manager to you right now. And given that it's just launched into full release, it's a great time to pick it up. This is available right now for its lowest ever recorded price of 30% off. It's $20.99. A really good buy. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this one, especially given that you can play, on any city in the world. Literally any city. Play in your hometown, play London, play Rome, play New York, play wherever the heck you like. City Bus Manager, recommendation from me. Shapez is a very simple to grasp, yet hard to master factory building and automation style game. The premise is simple. You mine shapes, you manipulate them, and you try and fulfill objectives. It sounds not very complicated, and indeed, it's not very complicated. However, pretty soon, you're going to be building sprawling factories across an infinitely expanding map. Anyway, Shapez is amazing, and in fact, there's a Shapez 2 in the works at the moment, and given the price of Shapez, the original, which is $1.99, 80% off, I would highly recommend you check out this game, because it will give you hours and hours and hours of enjoyment. Just looking at all these belts and all these sort of shapes, these colorful shapes moving around the playing field, it is a very satisfying experience to watch everything just sort of happen. Unlike Factorio, unlike Dyson Sphere Program, there's no bad guys. It's all about the automation and the factory building experience, which is what makes Shapez so enthralling to watch. So yeah, definitely check this one out, especially given the price. It's pretty much a no-brainer from my perspective. I always like to recommend a game like Ixion, and especially Ixion, whenever there is a Steam sale on. Why is that, I hear you asking? Well, it's a city builder, and I know you love city builders, I love city builders, we all love city builders, especially if you're subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, what the heck are you doing? Please do subscribe. I'd like to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Ixion is one of those games that I think people are a little bit apprehensive about jumping into. It is a city builder that is sort of set on space in a generation ship kind of thing, traveling a very long way across space and sort of teleporting to different galaxies, collecting a couple of different resources along the way, survival elements. It's a really, really interesting game, but the premise is quite daunting. Therefore, you know, if people have a limited budget to spend on city builders, you're probably going to spend it on a city builder that you know, that maybe isn't so risky creatively. Either way, Ixion is a great bargain at 50% off. You can pick it up. It is a story builder, a city builder that also has sort of story-driven elements in it. It's really good. I like it. When it first came out, there were some pretty gnarly balance issues, but I think they have all been worked out over the course of development, and this game is still being played by a heck of a lot of people, and it's rated pretty darn high on Steam, with 12,000 reviews, 76% positive. So yeah, a really quite decent score for a game that didn't launch in a great state. Anyway, it's 50% off, $17.49. It's the lowest recorded price thus far. Definitely check it out if you're interested in broadening your sort of city building horizons, especially at that price. And moving firmly back to terra firma, we're going to talk about Terra Nil. Terra Nil is a reverse city builder, I suppose. You basically have to rebuild and repopulate the environment as opposed to building a city. But in order to do that, you kind of have to build up a whole bunch of infrastructure along the way. It's kind of a little sort of puzzle game. It's kind of a city builder game. It's really nice. It's really quite chill. It really looks the part. A couple of different reasons why I'm recommending this game right now. Firstly, because it is at its lowest recorded price, $14.99, 40% off. Very good deal. It's also just dropped a pretty substantial update, the Vita Nova update, which I'm hopefully going to have a little look at on the channel over the next couple of days whenever I have a little bit of availability. It's a free update. It integrates into the game. It just gives you more maps and more sort of playtime, more opportunities to sample the lovely world that is built in Terra Nil. Either way, I really enjoyed my time with this. I played this on the channel a while back. I can very much heartily recommend it, and think you should check it out. The premise for Fabledom is pretty unique, I would say. It is kind of a fairy tale driven story builder, but don't let that confuse you. The city building mechanics are fantastic. It's really sort of unique in its own right. I really love the way that it plays. It's very tight, but there's also this whole sort of additional layer of sort of fantasy that is added on top. There's some pretty fantastic diplomacy mechanics, relationship mechanics. It's just a very compelling and excellent little city builder. Now, this is a city builder that was in early access. It has now exited early access. In fact, it exited early access, earlier this year? Yep, in May. So now's a great time to pick it up. It's 35% off, which is the largest percentage off we've seen. Not quite at the lowest ever recorded price, but at $13.64. I think you could do an awful lot worse than Fabledom, and in fact, I don't think many people are going to be recommending it for this summer sale. Hence why I thought I would bring it to your attention, because it really is that good. It really is that unique. It's rated at 88% on Steam, 88% positive. So that's a pretty ringing endorsement as far as I'm concerned. I really enjoyed my time with it. I played it on the channel a wee while ago. Yeah, 2 thumbs up for me for Fabledom. Sticking with the weird and slightly out there games, I'm going to recommend you pick up Bee Island. Bee Island is a base builder. It's kind of a tower defense. No, not necessarily a tower defense. You basically build a beehive, and then you kind of stick anti-aircraft guns around it and defend it against wasps and ladybirds. And yeah, I don't know the lore for this one. It's very, very weird. But it makes for a very, very entertaining and fun game. And for a long time, I was pretty skeptical that this game would see any updates. However, there has just been a pretty substantial sci-fi update, and in fact, there is going to be a further update that is coming soon. Apparently, there is one update, the sci-fi update, that has dropped with Steam Next Fest, and then there is going to be another update dropping with the Festival of Tower Defense Games, which will be round about the end of July. What does that mean? It means that it's a great time to be jumping into Bee Island. It is 70% off, $4.49. It's a little bit of a curiosity pick. It's a great little base builder. It really is very, very wacky. It's very, very weird. 81% positive on the Steam there, the Steam reviews. So everybody seems to really, really enjoy it. It just is one of the games that I didn't have high hopes for, but now I kind of do. It seems that the developers are back developing it more regularly and expanding it more regularly, which is great. It's a nice little piece at the moment, but it really could be so much more because it is just such a quirky premise. Anyway, Bee Island, check it out. Again, linked down in the description below. And last, but absolutely by no means least, I'm going to recommend Songs of Syx, SYX. This is a fantasy city builder. You start off with nothing very special, an insignificant colony. You build, scheme, and fight your way towards a metropolis and empire. Mechanics are complex and true to life, where small events can spiral into the collapse of kingdoms. And you can actually check out this game for free. There is a demo. It's an unlimited demo. I believe it is the last build or the previous build of the game. The game is still under active development. It is in early access. But boy, oh boy, it's pretty fleshy. It's kind of like Dwarf Fortress. It's kind of rimworldy. It's just pretty darn fantastic. I really, really enjoyed my time with it when I played it. Admittedly, quite a while ago, but it's still a great game to pick up. You can pick it up right now, $19.99, 20% off, which is the lowest that it's ever been, or matched lowest that it's ever been. 96.8% of user reviews are positive. That is an absolutely stunning endorsement as far as I'm concerned. I mean, over 4,000 positive reviews. That is fantastic. Really is a very interesting game. And it's still under development, hence me highlighting it to you right now. Great time to pick it up. That is Songs of Syx, linked down in the description below. So that is it for my list of recommendations. There is obviously all of the classics that you can have a little look at. The Paradox titles, you know, the big beefy ones like Europa Universalis, Cities Skylines. Maybe think about picking up Cities Skylines now. The big sort of Economy 2.0 update has just dropped. It's not a fantastic deal on Cities Skylines 2. I'd probably recommend that you maybe just give it a wee bit more time. But you can pick up the original, or indeed the brand new one, if you're feeling like you want to stick around with it. You can pick the new one up, City Skylines 2 at 10% off. Still just shy of $45, which I think personally is too much. But you can pick the original up at 70% off. That's $8.99. Maybe just stick with that one. There's also Anno. There's Civilization. There's a whole bunch of games that are regularly on sale. Transport Fever as well. How could I forget Transport Fever? All of the games that regularly go on sale for deep discounts. But I thought I would at least try and give you a few maybe unique recommendations that you wouldn't find elsewhere. But anyway, yeah, what are you going to be playing? Please do let me know down in the comments down below. Really interested to hear what you've picked up and what you'd recommend others to pick up. It really helps out. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, folks. Let me know what you've got in the comments down below, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.